Hey, I am a man with my feet on the ground, nigga, I stand. I'ma face my problems, don't help in hands. I'm just saying that I never ran. Yeah. I had the ball in spite of the pain. I was tired of the losses, I wanted the game. I want the whole world to know my name. If I make it out, know I'm bringing the game. They my brothers, yeah, they know my pain. We don't share a mind, but I love them the same. Gotta stay humble, now I stay in my...
Hey, welcome to Dream Tour. This is Duke Watson coming to you. This is the podcast where we take you on a tour of many different types of people's dreams. We like to talk to artists, entrepreneurs, and athletes. Today, we've got a double whammy. We've got an artist entrepreneur here. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
How you doing? My name is Pvblo Grey. I am honored to be here. Thank you, Duke. I really do appreciate it.
So glad that we had just met each other through Instagram and...
Yeah, I didn't even know you lived this close, bro.
It's crazy. We met through an Instagram. We were doing some social media marketing on Instagram, and we ran into each other in a common group, and we were only, 40 minutes apart?
Yeah, man.
Not bad. Yeah, great coincidences. So I've got a little Dream Tour update for all the people who have been watching. Before I get into my questions, I have made changes to the questions and the format of the show. I want to change it to be slightly more freeform, so I have removed some of the longer questions, and I've actually added some questions that are supposed to be a little fun. So check that out today. We've kind of changed up the format and the vibe of the entire show. So it's similar, but we made some updates. So let's start with where are you from?
All right. I'm from a place called Warren, Ohio.
I think we played you guys in football or in high school.
Probably. Sadly, we're Division 2 or 3 now. But when I was there, we were Division 1. But yeah, I'm from Warren, Ohio. If you don't know where that is, anyone watching, it's next to Youngstown. If you don't know where that is, 30 minutes from Akron.
Yeah. You know, Youngstown, right? Youngstown's right on the border of Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, probably at most 10 minutes away from the border of Pennsylvania.
So what's closer to you, Pittsburgh or Cleveland?
I would assume Cleveland. Cleveland, I think, is maybe 35, 40-minute car ride.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, it's 45, 50 from here, downtown. But that's not that bad at all. I mean, I like being near a big city. It's kind of important to me personally, just so, there's somewhere to do business, I guess,
I agree, because, after high school and everything and going to college, me getting out of Warren and going to a big city, because I lived in Kent, but first I went to Youngstown, YSU, doing sports, and then transfer here to Kent. Well, not Kent, this isn't Kent, but transfer to this area, Kent, and being next to a bigger city such as Akron definitely felt good, having access to a lot more things, and not only that, but being in a diverse community and seeing people that I don't see every day.
Yeah,
you get tired of it.
When you can start to see that there's so many different upbringings, that's one thing that I'm not a big guy for the whole big college. I don't think that's necessary in today's economy. There's a lot of other things to do if you don't want to, teachers, lawyers, doctors, that's your thing. You got to dedicate yourself to that. But if you want to run a business, it wasn't for me. But the thing that was awesome in college was seeing all the perspectives.
Yes. Same.
So many different upbringings, so many different things that I couldn't even imagine. I met so many very different people because they're from different cities, different cultures everywhere.
I'm about to say same because, so basically getting into that, I went to Warren. I ran track for the majority of my life, and I ended up getting a scholarship to YSU to run track. To be honest with you, I hate track.
Cool.
I've never been a fan of track.
Really?
I've just been really
good at it.
Yeah, I wanted to play football. All I wanted to do was play football. I ended up running track. Hated it after 3 years. Transferred to Kent, and I wanted to be a psychology major. Always wanted to, still do to this day, but I did not finish college. I actually had one class to go, Spanish 2. I have not finished, but my last couple semesters in school made me the last couple semesters in school, I spent those semesters doing things that I didn't normally do when I was a student athlete, such as working a job and having to provide for a roof over my head, which wasn't there provided through scholarship. So that made me open my eyes, and not to mention, I was watching my friend, Akil, bloom into a business mogul, and I really seen this man do that from nothing to a lot, and it made me think like this man did not go to college,
Yeah.
and he's successful.
Hey, it's 2020. It's the time of the internet. This is the boom of internet business. Like,
and not about to say not only that, but you see how many people are on the internet now, teaching and selling things, having all types of businesses with no type of college degree whatsoever.
Yeah. What I like to say is that like every business is an online business. No matter if you want it to or not, every business is an online business in today's world. So you just got to meet people. You got to reach people online, and that's what makes it so much. I mean, it might be harder to some people who are so used to the old way of doing business, but like for us people who grew up with our phones, pretty much, like I got a phone when I was 14 years old. So like when you grew up with that smartphone and you didn't know what it was for, and then you discover that I can use this smartphone to literally do so much. I can reach people. I can really make a difference with it.
Like, just think about it. Had this been 20 years ago, I probably wouldn't have made this connection.
Yeah.
Not through the internet, when social media wasn't there, Instagram not being there. But
we would have had to meet by random chance at a random event, you know.
Maybe on a college campus or something like that.
That's crazy. All right, so let's get to talking about what you do a little bit. So you run a YouTube channel and you're a musical artist. And is there anything else that I'm missing there?
I just made clothes. That's
made clothes. Yeah, I mean that's pretty
recent,
cool, though.
but so much just YouTube and music, honestly.
Okay, so how long have you been doing music for?
Music I've been doing since I could remember, since 6th grade. I lie to you not. I would literally have my laptop and the mic that goes next to the camcorder. I would bend the laptop over and I think it was Audacity. I believe the program is called.
That's what we're using right here.
Yeah, so I would use Audacity, play a beat from YouTube, and record just like that.
Turn it on to Wasabi mode.
Yup.
Yep, I've done that here before.
Recorded just like that, and I did that starting off in 6th grade, and I don't believe it was until going into 9th grade where I finally asked my grandparents for some money, and I told them I want to make music. And I kept researching before I did this because I knew I couldn't. I was mostly asking my grandpa, and I couldn't come to him with just any type of idea. It had to be legit. I had to know what's going on. So I did my research, and I found all the things that I needed. And to be honest with you, I was amazed being able to record like this, but it was terrible. Didn't know what I was doing with it. It sounded like, who knows, man. And I recorded like that for years. And then coming into 9th grade, I met this man, Akil. And to be honest with you, he was already recording with someone else, and he's way more advanced than I was. Still is. No downplaying myself, but especially at the time, the man was already making beats and all of this.
Oh yeah, really into knowing about how everything works.
So I definitely felt like I didn't know what I was doing. So I learned a lot from him as far as structuring a song, how to make things sound good, and things like that. And later on in life, I want to say a year later, I ended up running into my stepbrother Johnny, who is really creative, and his creativeness allowed me to experiment with different ways of going about music. But
dude, creativity is a weird thing. It's hard to find.
Yes, it is. But definitely, man, I've been doing music from 6th grade up until now, and as far as
how many times has your genre changed? Because I know from my friends that have been making music since we were 16 and now they're 22. You know, their complete vibe of the music they've made has changed as their life events happen.
That is very true. Because when I first started, before meeting Akil, I'm a Lil Wayne fan and have always been. I was recording anything Lil Wayne was thinking about doing. That's what I was trying to do. Then I met this man. And he was more so onto the lyrical artists of the 90s and 80s. So I was doing more boom bap type beats and more Jay Dilla type beats or
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, more they're kind of faster paced and it doesn't leave as much the boom bap type beats don't leave as much room for I guess almost lyrics that doesn't leave as much space. There's not as much space in your bars, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm not that into music, but I know, when you're listening to Cole versus listening to 21 Savage, 21 Savage is quicker tempoed and, he has some good bars still, but you feel them more in those slower, lighter beats, I feel like.
But when I say boom bap, I don't know if I meant like J. Cole type.
Oh,
things.
J. Cole.
Yeah,
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, that's.
Don't know the terminology.
I'm sorry,
very
but
well.
yeah, when like someone like J. Cole, which would be more lyrical, and when meeting my stepbrother Johnny, he got me more into, like I said, more creativity. This is around the time Drake was coming out, and people
Drake.
were doing my second favorite artist as well. But like he was doing the singing and rapping, and that was really new. Like, don't get me wrong, other people tried it. You had Nelly with his weird style, but like Drake made everyone try.
Yeah, he made it like all new rappers or all new artists like can't be single genred anymore.
Yeah,
it's hard to be single genred.
Like now, if I had to guess what my genre is now, it's
you for real. Like
yeah.
with music, everyone like it's just your one person makes music. You can't genres is like hard to find anymore.
I was gonna say because like how hip hop is now, because it definitely changed from 2010 up until now. Over the decade, everything that just about is, because we're just gonna put it like this: hip hop is the biggest genre there is, and the crazy thing about hip hop. It's one of those umbrella genres.
Yeah,
that,
there's so much underneath it.
Yeah, and it encompasses a lot of things because you can find pop kind of rap.
Pop
you can
rap,
find
yeah.
country type of rap. You can find bluegrass type of rap.
Yeah.
If it falls all under this, it becomes hip hop. But these people, like, now there's more rappers than there's ever been, and everyone just has them. They have their sound, what makes them, because we thought...
And you need that to be successful. You need to have a sound.
And, like, shout out to Ohio native Trippie Redd, because when he came out, people thought he was going to sound like Little Uzi. And because he had a rock star type of style, which is quite similar to Uzi, but he made a lane for himself.
Like, Uzi... you could like Uzi, Post, Juice WRLD, X, people like that really introduced. They just brought a bunch of rock into rap, and I love it. It's been so much fun. It's been so much fun. Like since that 2016, I feel like rap music once they in tune like that rock, and like even like I like Chance too. I love me some good mood rap too.
Man, you can ask a kill man. We used to be on the Chance acid rap mixtape. I just thought, man, probably one of the most artistically creative albums or mixtapes or collectives of music in like the last 20 years, to be honest with you.
It's very good, yeah.
You can find just about
I was upset. On
that.
Spotify, they don't have the best song on that album, Juice. They don't have Juice.
Yes. Oh
on
my
Spotify,
God.
It's just a little
Juice.
message, him saying,
Man,
sorry we couldn't get Juice. Yeah.
Man. I remember. Because I remember when he uploaded acid tape on Spotify, I was so happy, and that was the one song he didn't get.
And like that's the best song. That song, he was the first concert I ever saw. That song at that concert, just the juice.
Man, it's funny you talking about concerts because I also have to give a shout out to Akil because I thought I knew so much about music. I did not. Shout out to this man for allowing me to have the chance to go to my first concert, which was a Wale concert. And people don't know, this one Wale was huge. Just signed to MMG. Meek Mill was getting ready to take off. Rick Ross was already on top.
Man.
It was at the House of Blues in Cleveland. And, bro, I felt the energy. I felt it.
You were part of it, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, this is what it must feel like to really understand music.
And imagine just being on that stage, putting yourself out there and just like 100 people, 1,000 people, just having those people vibe with you, completely just with you for it. That would be insane. That would really be insane.
I agree, man.
I want to try and get something organized for the next summer. You know, Akron, Ohio, 330.
That would be awesome.
Youngstown is 330. Are you guys 330?
Yeah.
All right. So I want to get like a 330 artist showcase. So like it'd
It's
be like
crazy.
a concert.
They actually have something that's going on, but I don't really know too much about it.
Yeah. See, I feel like I always hear that there is that stuff, but I never hear about them. So I feel like using this platform and using some of the connections I made through this platform, we could get summer 2021 a huge concert of just 330 artists and just have everyone have a good time. It'd be super fun.
I agree, man. That would be awesome. Because, like, I know about the Youngstown artists. I know about the Warren artists. Akron is really new to me. Not because I've lived in Akron.
I can introduce you to a couple guys. They'll do some sessions. You know,
the guys I have heard from here, they're amazing. Like really talented, and you wouldn't know that they're from Akron.
Yeah, I feel like I got really lucky with the initial. I've grown up. I've been friends with Tone since like we were like 14 with the Action Jackson, who was my third episode, and through knowing him and actually Matt, I actually helped Matt like plan out his business growth strategy when we were back in high school and or Tech 44. We planned all that stuff out, and then, I went off to college. They all went off and did like a year or two of their own thing, and now that we're coming back, like we're all building bigger brands, and they've connected me to like 3 or 4 other really talented Akron rappers.
It's really crazy you saying that, because like that's really what me and my friends have been doing. Like we've grown up together. Like, be honest with you, because right now, like my life is definitely a 360 from what it was 10 years ago. Me at 15. Akil at 15, we was doing some crazy things, and it's just crazy that
You have to, though, to learn.
Yeah.
You got to learn.
After high school, we all went our separate ways. Like, it's not just Akil, we got other friends too, but we all have gone our separate ways, and over the years, we come back to reconnect, and we figured out ways to help each other. We embrace each other's ideas, each other's growth, and it's really amazing to witness the growth happen.
Dude, there's not many better things in life than like a healthy friendship. Like a friendship where they're actually like they're not jealous when you're succeeding. They're like go good shit, man. Yeah,
those the type of friends you need, man.
Successful friends will make you successful because they'll just do successful stuff, and you're like, they're not even doing that much, and you're like, I can do that too.
Yes, it makes you think.
The difference is literally just decisions for a lot of like feeling successful and feeling unsuccessful. When you feel unsuccessful at the end of a day, you made a decision not to do something that you wanted and you feel bad about it. But when you did whatever you like, if you wrote down that you wanted to go to the grocery store and you didn't do it, at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, man, I feel unsuccessful.
Yep.
But you hang out with people, when they put that down on the list, they do it, you're like, man, I should do that too. And then you feel great at the end of the day.
See, man, the crazy thing is, like, and I keep saying my friend Akil, because he's the one that I look at. Shout out to Akil. He's the one that I look at as far as how to go about success. And I'm not saying that because he's the only one that I know that's successful. He just happens to be someone that's closely relatable to me. Close similarities in circumstances for me to kind of like, have an understanding of how to go about it. Yeah. So like me being able to do that and being able to watch him, it's like, yeah, it's possible.
It's possible.
It's definitely possible.
And then, then you be that person too. You be that person when they need that person, when they need someone to look at and be like, all right, he did it today, I can do it today.
Exactly.
Dude, it's important who you surround yourself with. But I've got another question for you. You ready? All right. So, what was the first thing you wanted to be when you were like a little kid? Like, you want to be a spaceman? I wanted to be crocodile hunter.
Oh man, y'all gotta forgive me, man. The first thing I ever wanted to be was a CIA agent.
Hey, dude, but you'd know it all.
Yeah,
you'd know it all.
I can't do that now.
Yeah, but now, that makes so much sense with your YouTube channel. For the people who we haven't really got into the YouTube channel yet, his YouTube channel is so interesting. Like, if you like almost like, it's like there's a lot of political news kind of, but like he really gets into the details and he's like, this is what they don't want you to know here. And that's very CIA-esque, like it's like reverse CIA.
Cause like it's just amazing. It's crazy because like I wanted to be a CIA agent like growing up, and it's funny. My mom ended up after my mom and my dad's divorce, she ended up remarrying to a man who was a Green Beret. Oh. And I told him about me wanting to be a CIA agent, and he had to give me the spill. Like
he was like,
"Listen, that's probably not what you want to do. You go over there, you get caught. The United States doesn't know you. You got to be willing to do that. You would have to leave family. You would have to do all of that." I'm like, you know what? That's probably not what I want to do.
You have to like disappear.
Yeah.
You got to disappear to do the CIA.
And I'm not about to get too far into it. What just happened recently with America's CIA agents, I wouldn't want any parts of it.
Yeah.
So,
did the CIA and the FBI are like you keep up on the Snowden information, Edward Snowden?
Yeah.
I just saw his podcast with Rogan, and like it's bizarre that he's like, I don't know what the term is, but like he's not allowed in the United States. Yeah, he's a rogue agent just because he told us they were watching us. Yeah. Like we needed to know. We needed to know that we were being watched, and because he told us, he's banned from the United States, gone rogue, and being tracked. Like, that's crazy. That's really crazy.
It makes you wonder, because I always, like, initially with some situation like that, like, him letting us know that we're being watched, and I don't mean to go into conspiracy theories, but it make you think at first.
I mean, it's not a conspiracy. He came out and released real information.
But if someone was to watch this, they would assume what we're talking about is a conspiracy.
Yeah, you're right.
So when it comes to things like this, like, initially you're like, yeah, we probably need to know this. But at the same time, it's like, we do know we need to know this, but do we need to know it right now?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, though, is like, the news story released in 2008. I didn't hear of Edward Snowden until 2012. No, I was 12 in 2012, but
say that's when I heard about it.
Or maybe that was the initial time, but maybe that's when the movie came out. But I thought it was 2008 when the news story released, and then like I didn't hear about it till I watched the Edward Snowden movie on Netflix, like 2019. So that was 11 years. If I'm accurate on the number, it might have been 2012, but somewhere around there. We've known for 10, 11 years that they have the ability to watch anything from any camera, and we didn't do anything. We didn't say anything. We didn't try and get our rights back.
Well, one thing that has always held true, and I'm almost positive almost anyone's mom has said this to them growing up, the possibilities are endless. Anything could happen. Yeah. You could be anything. Anything could be anything. If you can think about it, it's possible. Yeah,
and everyone's watching anyways, I guess. You know, people see you, you're out, people see you do things happen. It's just the that privacy thing, being watched, being heard inside your own home. That really throws people off. Outside of that, I mean, really, every street camera, every place, everything sees what's going down.
You know what's crazy? Like when it comes to something like that, like I remember when China first said they were rolling out the credit system, like the behavior credit system, where basically that's how it works. Everyone has credit based off how they are as a citizen to society. And if you're a good citizen, your credit score is higher. If you're a bad citizen, it gets lower.
China, I'm pretty sure it's like a child of the motherland.
When it first came out, I think this was like 3 or 4 years ago. It could be longer than that. I thought like this was an interesting experiment, but as time has gone by, you realize it's not as good as you think it is. Like, whatever they deem to not be a good citizen, today, going to go pay your bill could be deemed as not being a good citizen, and now your credit is bad. Like,
yeah, and like no one should you shouldn't be held accountable for yesterday. Like unless if you did a serious crime, yeah, you can be held accountable. But if you weren't if you did something stupid yesterday, you're not gonna hold it over yourself for a long period of time. That's not good for anyone. You shouldn't be held accountable on decisions you made when you were young. Like
the stupid cancel culture we're going through right now.
Yeah, give people another shot.
I'm gonna let everyone know, if you go and look back on my Twitter from 2010 and beyond, you're gonna think I hate black people, white people, Chinese people, babies,
old people,
dogs, cats. You're gonna think I hate them.
Yeah, but some people speak real like that. Like some people, you're probably not being hateful. You're just speaking the truth.
Now, it was just a time on the internet where everyone could be funny, and now people
that's true.
Grow 5 years older and what you said 5 years ago, even though I laughed and reacted to it and thought it was funny, it's not that funny anymore.
Yeah, I saw a stand-up comedy with Jim Jeffries, and he said, just so I told a joke and the line was here. Then 10 years later, you move the line here, and the joke is still over here. You can't get mad at me. The line was there then, which makes sense,
That's why I can't get down with cancel culture. I'm not a fan of
cancel culture. I think cancel culture is slowly getting canceled.
Yeah.
I think our generation, like this, people in their young 20s, people up till 30, like this, I don't know how old, but this younger generation of people, whoever considers themselves young out here and open-minded, we're going to make a lot of progress. It's just it's hard to keep that positive outlook. People don't want you to have that positive attitude about the future. When you say, yes, things are bad, but things have always been bad, and we're going to make them better, people just want to hear about what's bad, what can they do about it now. They don't want to think, we're going to make improvements.
And when you really understand what's going on in the universe, you have to understand there is always an opposite. So as much bad as you see out there, it's really that much good. It's just no one talks about it. The good isn't monetizable. Like, no one monetizes. I'm
gonna try.
Yeah, I'm gonna try too. We're gonna have to change the paradigm, culture, as they say.
Shift the paradigm.
Got to. But it's just that's what we've been conditioned to do, is to monetize off the bad. When we can do it off the good, like, good news is great. It makes people feel good. It's just that bad
news travels.
Yeah, it makes people do things.
I've never walked up and been like, "Hey man, did you hear about that lady that adopted a kid today? Shit was awesome. She saved that kid's life." You don't hear that. You hear about that kid who got kidnapped. Yeah. You don't. Like, that's what you talk about. You're like, "Oh my gosh, yeah."
And I wasn't around back then, but I really feel like when they depict news broadcasting from back in the day, they spoke on more positive things. It wasn't so negative.
Well, and like, when you're doing news for the United States of America, 330 million individual people, there's a lot of news to cover. When it was 1970 and you had a local news station that, like, you saw the newscaster around town, and you went to the same grocery store, and you communicated with your community.
And not only that, the company wasn't bought out and under one big company.
It wasn't under a company, under a company, under a company, under a party. There was no fuel behind anything. It was just, I'm the community newscaster. We go and tell you what happened.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be bias in the news. If you think there isn't bias in the news, have you ever talked to a human that wasn't somewhat biased? Because I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm biased.
I'm somewhat biased. Yeah. I don't know about what, but I can admit that. That's human nature. Human nature is to be biased. Yeah,
there's always some bias that you can't control. You do your best to not have any bias. I think that there's a comfortable balance in the middle that this country is actually not so far from, but we don't realize it. I think everyone wants to get along, but doesn't know how.
That's probably the best way I've ever heard that. I think so too. I really think everyone wants to get along. Even the people who actually hate other people, they probably want to get along.
They hate other people because they want to get along with them so bad. They're like, I want to like you, but they don't understand how. They don't understand to find that ground. All right, let's do a little bit talking about what you do, so people can actually check you out. What's upcoming for you? And well, the shirt and the hat, right? These are upcoming.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, other than like the YouTube stuff, I just started a clothing brand.
We'll bring some of this up.
Or let me not say that. It's not a clothing line. Merch. I got some merch. It is inspired through the seed of life. It is a ancient teaching. It's taught in many cultures. I would ask you to do your research. The best way I can say it is God. I'm gonna just put it like that. God, creation, expansion of creation. That's what it means. If you look at the insignia, there's 2 colored rings in it. It's red and purple. Purple represents the highest chakra point there is, which is the crown chakra. The red represents the lowest chakra point, which is the root chakra.
Yes, I just did I do a chakra meditation before my podcast. It's you start with your root and you work your way up. Mm-hmm. Solar plexus, get to your crown. You focus on all the areas, bring all the light in, and then like I feel in the vibe for when it's time to just talk. I love the chakras.
I try to meditate every day. I really try, but
that's so cool.
But yeah, that's honestly where I got it from, because I like meditation and yoga. When I try to involve myself in something, I try to do as much research on it. And me wanting to do yoga simply for back pain made me research on where it's inspired from, where it comes from. Then it got me into meditation, and then understanding what meditation is for, and then got me to chakra points, and then the chakra points got me to tied into a lot of things I was already studying, and it just worked out for the symbol.
There's a lot of ancient ways that we've forgotten as technology came out that are kind of like the ancient ways are starting to come out through technology, which is really nice. Like I'm seeing a lot of places with like minute-long meditations on Instagram. Like that's great for your day. Remember to breathe, stuff like that. Like these ancient ways are like starting to come back online, and maybe they've been there the whole time and I just didn't see them. But at least to me, it feels like they're starting to come back. And American culture hasn't really had that. It's been a small sector of American culture that has been with that, and now it's getting bigger.
It comes back around. It'll transform into something, and it's honestly the same thing. Best way I can sum it up. It is what it is.
It is.
It is what it is. And I wish I could. I don't know if we're ever gonna get into that topic about a trip, but yeah, man, that's where I ended up understanding about things such as like, as much as life is complicated, and as much as it is complicated, it is simple.
Yeah, I've like recently kind of come to the understanding that like the way to do everything is simple, just the will to do it is not.
That's awesome.
Most things in life you can learn. I mean, everything's learnable. Someone did.
Yeah.
Someone learned it. So everything that you think you want to do, you can learn it. It's just a matter of learning it. It's difficult. It's not easy. You have to love it.
I agree. Definitely have to have some passion behind it.
Yeah, that's what this show kind of wants to represent. Like the point is, we want to give an example of people who have found something that they love to do, and like give people inspiration to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go try something new. And then they try something new and they say, I hate that, never doing that again. But then on their way home from that, they run into someone, meet them, bam, find something they love to do. That's the way I feel like life goes. It's funny like that.
I agree. If you don't mind, may I speak on like my YouTube for a second?
Yeah.
I feel like
about the YouTube.
I brought up the merch and everything else, but as far as what I do on YouTube, like he said before, what has happened this year as far as the pandemic and what's been going on in the news, I felt the need to break this information down. When the pandemic happened and the shutdown happened, pandemic has been there. The disease or whatever you want to call it, the virus, it's been there. When they decided to shut down, and I thought my life was in jeopardy and my job was in jeopardy, I figured I need to go do some extensive research and understand, because fear exists when there's a lack of understanding. When you know something, you don't fear it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going to have to quote that. That's going to be one of my Instagram quotes. You said fear exists when there's a lack of understanding. I like that. Yeah.
So I tried my best to get an understanding on what the hell is going on with the coronavirus, the politics and all of that. And it just led me down to a rabbit hole of passion through YouTube videos of just giving information and sharing information that I feel like some people may not understand it at this point. Because in my life, I'm understanding that us as a younger group, we get our information from the internet.
Yeah.
Older people, they get the information from the television. And what YouTube does, at least, kind of is that mid-ground.
It's a mid-ground, which it's very nice. Like, when you watch the news all day, if you sit around and watch the news and scroll through Twitter, people will be arguing about some crap, and you're like, I feel like I get the gist, but, like, I'm missing. When you go watch your video, watch your breakdown, even if you just go on your Instagram, you'll get a minute, or do you do the IGTVs that are longer than a minute?
Honestly, I haven't done too many IGTVs. I probably need to.
Yeah, I know you get them, but even with the minute I get, like, when I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see a minute, it's like, oh, okay, I got actually a little more detail than in an hour of watching them.
And I've been trying to do that as far as, like, because doing the one little...
The clips, people like clips.
Yeah,
people like clips.
I've been trying to confine my information into a minute clip, because as you can see, like, when I'm talking like this, I'm kind of like spaced out trying to formulate the words in my head to get it all together.
Yeah, we had a big picture to paint here. This is a long form podcast. I like trying to like make them longer, so I can get a lot out of it, a lot of clips, a lot of different topics,
Honestly, I'm cool with that. But yeah, so with all of that being said, it led me to break down the information that is in the middle ground, because I would notice that the news clips you would find on YouTube would also be news clips that my grandparents would end up watching, or someone's family member would end up watching on television. So it made me want to break that information down, because if someone random our age is looking at this, they're probably getting a clip from Twitter, Instagram, or they came across YouTube and seen it too. And then you got the people who are right in between us and the older people who are looking strictly on YouTube for news clips. And you got the older people who are at home watching TV for these news clips. So I figured if I could break it down to a point where the younger generation can break it down, and then the middle generation can break it down, maybe they can get it to the people at the top, the older people who don't necessarily use the internet or know how to use the internet. They can either show them the video or, you know, ballpark it.
Yeah, ballpark it. That's one great thing is like, so obviously with you, I see like you have like a gift of understanding. So like when you can understand something that's complicated, and like a lot of other people would be like, get partial the idea, and you can break it down in a way that makes sense to more people, you're helping knowledge grow. And like that's definitely what I've seen of your YouTube, and I've watched all the Instagrams, but I've seen I think 2 of the YouTube videos, and like you break it down to a point where it's a little more personable. It's a little more on the level of regular conversation. When you hear something that's spoken in regular speak, it makes you want to listen to it more. It's more real. That's what people want today. They don't want the gimmicks, and these big companies don't understand that they don't want the gimmicks anymore.
It's funny you say that, because when things aren't broken down in something like that, they seem very hard to understand, such as like when you download an app and the policy page pops up and you got all of this stuff to read. You don't want to read that because you probably don't understand it. Same thing with these contracts that you might get from lawyers, where they intentionally write
sneaky stuff.
You
hear about artists getting all their money taken all the time
because
by
things
managers.
are written in a way where they're purposely not meant to be understood. Only certain people, they literally write this stuff where only certain people get the gist of it, because they were taught to get the gist of it. Other people don't get it, so they don't want to know about it. They tend to avoid it. That's why some people would just sign contracts. They won't read it because they don't want to take the time to really understand what they're about to get themselves into.
Dude, signing a piece of paper can be scary. It really can.
It can.
Signing a piece of paper can change your life.
Yes, it can.
All right, so like if your upcoming goals are to get this shirt released, where can people access this shirt? Are they gonna be like pre-orders on like a Depop? Is it gonna be on Instagram? Is it gonna be?
I'm gonna do Instagram. Just so you know, it is free shipping. Free shipping. Don't worry about the shipping. I'm gonna be selling these hoodies before Black Friday. They're gonna be $25, and if you pre-order the hoodies, you can get a hat in any color you want. You can get the hat for $7. If you don't get the hoodie, the hats will be $14 before and after Black Friday. Okay. Regardless, they're going to be $14. Only $7 if you get the hoodie before Black Friday.
All right, yeah. Okay, so what is like a day for you? Like if you wake up and you're going to make a video that day, are you like waking up and starting researching, or are you doing that like the night before? Or
to be honest with you,
you don't have a...
I'm not going to say I don't have a routine. What I try to do is I wake up, I'm not going to lie to you, first thing I do, I'm rolling up a blunt, sadly. Let me not say sadly, because I do it with a lot of joy. First thing I'm doing is rolling up a blunt, and I'm not encouraging anyone else to do this. This is just what I do.
Yeah, you got to do it.
And I do it for multiple reasons. When I do it in the morning, it's simply for manifestation, awakening, not for getting high, feeling good, nothing like that. That's not the purpose of me doing that when I wake up.
Ever CBD?
Yeah, I do CBD as well. I was actually thinking about starting a CBD company, but that'll be later down the line. But I wake up, roll me a bleeze, and I meditate. If I don't meditate first, I'm doing yoga, because I'll get in a seated position and my back start hurting. I don't like it. I do my yoga, and when I meditate, I try to manifest positivity, and not only positivity, productivity. It's either one or the other, if not both. And I something just comes to me. If it comes to me, it happens. Like some days I might not even decide to do anything, but if I really feel like I have to get a message out, I have to.
So your videos, your messages, the content you create, that like really comes from within. Then it really comes from like you had to have a feeling about it. You're not forcing anything.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
nice.
try to force nothing because it's the same thing with music. Like, and you could say I got this idea from Wayne, but me watching Wayne and his interviews, he spoke on why he records without writing shit down, and he said if you really feel it, like you should be able to go in there and record it with no issues. And it's the same thing. Like, I'm not going to force out no information because then it's jargon. Then you are getting information that's actually watered down and it doesn't really mean anything. There's power behind words. And if I'm going to say something, I'm going to absolutely mean it. I'm not trying to say anything that doesn't have any type of anything behind it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. I like there's power behind words because like you don't realize that growing up. You don't realize that like words is one of your only powers. Like what you say is what you are, you know? Like
And honestly, kids do realize how powerful words is because elementary school, you say the wrong thing to someone, they're crying, they're hurt.
but like,
They'll
the
remember
repercussions, you're seeing that, or that's when you learn that lesson, you know, is when you're young. But like, it's crazy that like, you know, this choice of sounds that we put out of our mouth is how people see you, because that's our only way to communicate.
That's really amazing. Like, yes, the words that come out of your mouth is what paints how you look.
Yeah.
Really.
So you gotta be selective with it, but also like you gotta be yourself with it too. Like if you're gonna, I think it's more valuable to say something in disagreement with someone that's true to yourself than to just agree with someone. But like disagreeing shouldn't be seen as like a bad thing. You know, it should be like I see it differently, but your idea is still cool. You know?
Yeah, like I never have any problems with someone having an opposing view. Like me being a black man in America. Even now, like, I don't have any hatred towards anyone who may have hatred towards me, whether that be a racist or someone who just hates me because I'm me. Like, I wouldn't do that because I don't understand their reasoning for their hatred. It would be wrong for me to say you shouldn't be hating me for whatever reason because I didn't do anything. I don't know what it took for you to have hate for me.
Yeah,
and I would be wrong to assume that it's insignificant because it means the world to you, obviously. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, if someone's going to hate you, like, I can't be mad at you because I understand that, like, you have a reason for that, and your reason it's probably a good one to you.
Yeah, I'm about to say, not to say, at the end of the day, I'm still living life.
No.
I'm still good. You know
your hate, if you want to spend energy disliking me, you go ahead.
And I know how it works. It's just going to come back for you. I don't have any hatred for no one.
There's no reason. All right, so going off of this, it's kind of a flip here. Not having any hatred for anyone, who inspires you?
First and foremost, I want to say my grandfather.
I was going to say earlier, like, sounds like he really had a good message.
Yeah, about to say, hands down, my grandfather. My grandfather is a Baptist preacher. I'm not going to say that I consider myself Christian or anything like that, but I do know there is a God, and I'm gonna just put that out there. And I just wanted to say my grandpa, hands down, is one of the most inspirational people that I've had in my life. Secondly, I want to say my dad. No, you know what? Let me take that back. My mother. Sorry, Dad, no offense to you. You come in third. But my grandfather, my mother, my mother's work ethic, hands down.
Did it make you into the hustler you were, just seeing that?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm pretty lazy, but like my mom's lazy too. But when she works for something, when she wants something, she goes and get it, and that's how I am.
Yeah.
And thirdly, I'm gonna say my dad, because my dad, even though that I grew up with my parents being divorced, my dad was never an absentee father. My dad never did anything that would make me hate the man, and honestly gives great advice, and I gotta thank him for being a grounding force in my life. Really do appreciate it, especially when I was gonna make some dumb decisions.
That's awesome. So those are the people that motivate you. Do you have anyone that motivates you that like you don't know, like someone, a big name, anyone like that like you at least like see them and you're like, I like what they're doing, I want to build my platform in a similar way?
I mean, besides the music, I already told you I like Lil Wayne. I'm a Drake fan, all of that. That's from back in the day. But like as far as right now, I want to say shout out to Brother Ben X. who has a Instagram podcast. His work ethic, hands down, is like, it deserves an award, man. I watched this man's Instagram grow from nothing to everything. I don't even know if the man's a millionaire. I wouldn't be surprised if he is a millionaire.
Was or wasn't. That's the best type of person. You have no idea.
And like his work ethic, man, always putting out content, and not just content, valuable content, things that really help people and really giving people free gems. So shout out to Brother Ben X. Who else? I guess like Derek Grace. I don't know too much about Derek Grace, but I know he's the Tatted Mentor, hashtag Tatted Mentor. Just basically how he's been carrying himself, because these are just people I know from the internet. I don't know who they are in real life. I don't know how they actually are as a person in real life, but the persona that they put on the internet, I respect. And as far as like the second person is Derek Grace. I respect how he's been moving for like the last 5 years, telling his story and really keeping his family together and making it work through his own way. So him, I also got to say, shout out to Young Pharaoh. I did a lot of learning from him as far as like how I started off. I will say I could say that I am somewhat a student of the man, but at the same time, me getting further into my own teachings, there's some things that I do disagree with, but that's the same thing with Brother Ben X and same thing with Derek Grace.
Yeah, you don't 100% say that with everyone.
Some things that they do, I don't agree with, but I do want to say shout out to Young Pharaoh, because he did give me the start of inspiration as far as putting positive information on the internet.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, putting positive information on the internet is kind of like, I think it's really important, and I think a lot of people are doing it right now. And I think as you do it, like, positivity grows. It's contagious, just like negativity. They're equally contagious. It's just a matter of like who is going to be the catalyst for that. If you choose to be a catalyst for arguments and hate on the internet, your account's always going to be a catalyst for arguments and hate. That's all you're going to see. If you choose to be a positive, if you're out there commenting positively, there's an algorithm. Like, there's a real algorithm that'll bring similar people, like positive attitude people to you. Like, so what's the point? If you really are mad about the negativity on the internet, stop being negative on the internet.
That's really how it is.
It takes a second. I mean, I started doing all positivity on the internet, and it took probably 2 or 3 months for my complete timeline to change. But like, my timeline's there's not much negativity on my timeline.
And it's funny because, like, man, 5 years ago, I was the internet troll. Like, on Twitter, I used to come up with arguments just because I wasn't on the same type of thing I am on now. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm always the one that's ready to joke. Anyone who wants to joke, I got jokes for you. No, I'm not trying to be mean, but if you want me to take it that far, I will. I'm just really funny. And I had no problem being an internet troll back then, but obviously
jokes are funny, yeah.
You can't do that now. The world doesn't allow that type of thing.
They need a trolling, like a straight, like literally like a social media called like troll. You just get on and fuck with each other.
Allow people to troll each other. That would be great.
Wait, let's write that down. That's a good one.
That is.
All right, so when you're like, you are inspired by these people, when you wake up and get motivated to do something, and like you do find that inspiration that day that you're gonna make a video, do you think more in terms of like, I'm doing this for my family, for my friends, for the people around me, or are you like, I'm doing this from me? Are you more like, does it come from inside, or do you do it because of the people around you?
Well, I'm going to say I'm doing it for me. And when I say that, I understand that me doing it for me is doing it for others.
Everyone else, yeah.
Because if I could do for myself, others watching will also want to. And not only that, me just being the man I am, I'm going to.
It's better to teach a man to fish.
Yeah, I'm still going to help my family out if YouTube or music or whatever, if it helps. If it helps me help them, I'm going to. But at the same time, when I do something, I do it for myself, because I wouldn't want someone else doing something for another person. You unless it's your child, I don't think you should be doing anything because you think another person would appreciate it, would do that. You do it because that's what you believe you should do.
Yeah.
And if in your heart it does that, and it does affect people in a positive way, great.
Yeah.
Great.
See, yeah, how I see it is like, I have always dreamed of being big at whatever I do, being a name, being known. But the reason I dream for that is because I want to create. I want like the goal. My end goal is, it's not money. It's not a big house. It's to when people to see me to think about like doing positive things. Like I just want to be seen as someone who did something cool. Like
You got to change what you're saying. You are being seen as that, bro. You are being seen.
I want to be seen on a broader spectrum though. That's what drives me to grow. Is I feel like I'm putting out a positive message. So as I grow, I'm reaching more people. My goal is to give a positive moment to every person on my like social. I wanna grow and slowly positively impact more people every week.
Again, I'm gonna say, you should definitely change how you say it. You should put yourself into action. You are changing and giving people the positive. Not you're trying, because you trying means you're still attempting. If you are saying you are doing it, that means you are doing it. That's how you.
Manifest it.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta manifest it. I like that. Okay, so I've got a few new questions for you. This one hasn't been on Dream Tour before. I've got 2 in a row. So if you had to choose one like personality trait or characteristic that like would be your favorite one about yourself, the one that you'd want to tell, like if you could only tell a person one thing, one characteristic that you're proud of, what would it be?
Being understanding. I am a very, very understanding person. And I think that encompasses a lot of things, like me being down to earth, me being able to understand things, me just, I don't know. I feel like if someone was to tell me their only trait is being understanding, I'm going to assume that they're a cool person, they're chill, maybe funny, just a relaxed person to be around.
I just thought that I really I was thinking about like my questions were kind of like there was only one answer to them, and I wanted to get some questions where like you could see some interesting perspectives in it. Like if understanding was your character, like I can see that really defining. That makes a lot of sense because there's some people that like you can just start a conversation with no matter like you just know you can start a conversation and they're gonna actually be a part of it. You know.
But definitely I would say understanding.
All right, then what's your superpower if you could pick one?
Oh man,
I think this one's fun. And it actually tells you about someone's character, what superpower they pick, I feel like.
Teleportation.
Be all over the world?
Anywhere.
Be in Hawaii right now. Just
yes, sir.
We could shoot the podcast in Hawaii and then just...
I thought about it, man, because if I, like, time travel, that's fine. And then flight's fine. But time travel, you would literally want to change time so you could be somewhere that you wanted to be at a certain time that you weren't able to. But if you got teleportation in the moment, if you are living in the moment like how you should, you could be somewhere in the moment at any time.
Teleportation's good. I was thinking super speed, but like that's this like it's a little quicker.
Speed,
it's a little quicker.
Definitely, it's the same thing with flying. You want to fly so you can be somewhere quicker than that. Like instead of having teleportation's it, man.
It's OP. Teleportation's OP. That's funny.
Definitely.
I was thinking super speed because like I love the Flash, or like maybe be Spider-Man just because he's Spider-Man.
Honestly, spider power should probably be my second power.
I don't know what it is, but Spider-Man's just
it's
always
amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing.
The Amazing Spider-Man, bro.
Spider-Man, I'm excited
being
for
able
the
to
new
stick
movie.
the walls and boy, man,
it's so cool.
Spider senses too.
That'd be a good one.
That would be a good trade for teleportation. If I had that's what I would trade if I had to. It would be spider powers.
Okay. So we talked about like your characteristic being understanding, and so like when people remember things, like when people say someone came and watched your YouTube channel for a month or followed you on Instagram for a month or two or was just supporting your content, in your life, what would you want them to like remember about you if someone was like, hey, Pablo, what would you want them to say? What's your goal?
Honestly, I wouldn't want them to say. I want a feeling. I want to give people a feeling. I want to give people a feeling of this person is like a shining light. And when I say a shining light, like a star, because the star is guidance at night. Because if you could be a shining light, 9 times out of 10 is compared to a star. A star is been used as a sense of guidance for millions of years.
Yeah.
And that's all I would hope people to see me as, is someone that is help guiding them through some type of journey, whether it's right now, later on.
Useful piece in the puzzle.
Yes.
Yeah. I just want to be when I meet someone, I just want to be a part that is at least somewhat useful. I want to say something. I want to be a certain way that when you walk away from it, even if it was a minute long that you knew me, and when you walk away from it, it's like that could help. It has the opportunity to help you if you want it to.
That's definitely what I want. I want people to feel like I've helped in some type of way.
Yeah. So speaking of like a star, this always blows my mind. This is not really like anything to do with what we were talking about, but like it blows my mind that people were able to take a piece of paper, look up at the sky, and figure out where they draw dots and figure out where they were, and then like go on a journey, go walk for a week with their camels and whatever ancient people did, and then they'd come back. I don't know why I'm thinking of the wise men from the Bible, but they drew on stars. They drew stars on pieces of paper, looked up, and figured out where they were. That's insane to me. I can't imagine.
And see, I honestly
rely on my maps a lot.
From what I believe, where that type of information comes from, that comes from God. And whether that coming from God happens because of a situation that turns your perception of understanding so you can receive knowledge like that, that's what I believe when things like that happens.
Yeah, I like that. That's interesting. I like that we just have discovered all these crazy things, and like we don't even think about how far we've come. Like in your day-to-day life, you don't think about the fact that 100 years ago you were probably working in a big steel factory. 200 years ago
I was probably in the field. I was probably in the field, just being honest with you.
Yeah, 200 years ago, life wasn't the same. There was a lot more problems, and we want to complain about now. But now's better than then. But we just have to make tomorrow better than now.
See, but at the same time, that is always perception, though, because I believe time is better now. But I can also change the perception and see that maybe we are regressing as a people, because they're in multiple other cultures, they have tales of them living for hundreds of years, eating great, and no famine and things like that. And if things like that actually did exist, we could say what we're doing now isn't as great. But in my opinion,
we're trying to get there at least.
I'm gonna say my opinion, my perception, because I like to live in a great space, especially in my head.
I think
we living good.
Yeah, I think if you choose to think that it's better than yesterday, it is better than yesterday.
And it's funny you say that, because I don't often pray, because I don't know.
It's not particular. I can't.
But when I do
it either.
I ask for tomorrow to be better than yesterday. Yeah. And because I like I said, bro, I'm not a Christian or anything like that. I like to talk directly to God, and I don't know if you want to call that blasphemy, but when I do, I like to ask for today to be better than yesterday, or tomorrow to be better than today. That's really all anyone could ever ask for.
Yeah, that's I agree. I 100% agree. So I got one more question for you. What's your dream? After this all these conversations we had, what do you think your dream is? What statement does this show bring to you?
Let me not call it a dream. Let me call it distant reality. My distant reality is to have a self-sustaining family. And that, whether that be through business ventures, YouTube, clothing, CBD business, whatever that is.
There's a way to make it. You'll get it.
So my distant reality is having a self-sustaining family based off any type of business I've come up with, or I encourage my family unit to come up with, and hopefully that then inspires other family units to do the same thing. And I wouldn't mind helping those family units to also become self-sustaining, because I honestly believe that's what it's really about.
Yeah, I think I've been leaning on in my future goals with sustainability, at least. Like my mom is really starting to get into sustainability, with her garden and like composting, and we don't buy plastic. Pretty much, like we buy as minimal plastic here, and we reuse stuff. And so like my new goals with sustainability is like I want, when I'm living on my own as a 30-year-old adult in my 30s, I don't want the goals of like having the nicest car in the neighborhood. I want to have a garden. I want to have a garden that's going to feed my family for half the year.
Right.
You know, something like that.
And that's what's really, really important, because the way I see it, and like I said, I'm into psychology, and if anyone knows about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you know self-sustainability, self-preservation is number one on it. If you can't love, you can't have sexual relations, you can't feed yourself, you can't do any of that if you don't self-sustain. If you're not trying to keep your life to live, you can't do the things that come with life, such as the other things on that hierarchy.
You can't enjoy life until you start to tackle your mental. Like until you focus on wanting to enjoy life and figuring out how that works for you, because everyone's different. It's a long process for some people, a short process for others. Some people have a moment where they turn their life around. Some people have a year of working on their mentality. Some people have 5.
That's the journey.
You know, people can turn that mentality around. So let's give a quick shout out to you for coming on. Thank you for coming on, and let's tell everyone where they can reach you, because all the links will be in the bio below. Your Instagram will be above your head here. If we'll put, I don't know, I might put a banner across the bottom. I don't know what I'd put on it yet.
All right. You can find me anywhere at Pvblo Grey, which is PVV as in like voyage. Pvblo Grey. Pvblo Grey at anything except Twitter, which is Pvblo Grey. Same thing, but it's GR the number 8, and that's about it. You can find me anywhere.
All right, so check out his social media, check out his YouTube, his Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube will all be in the bio.
And not to mention digital streaming platforms. I got quite a lot of content as far as musical content out there. All digital streaming platforms. Space Tape 2, Space Tape 1, Before Picasso, all types of stuff.
Okay, yeah. Is that all on Spotify and Apple, or is it SoundCloud?
Everything.
Everything? Okay, so
SoundCloud is even older music, but if you find me on there, you're a real fan.
All right, so we'll have the Apple and the Spotify and possibly the SoundCloud link all in the bio down below. And then I've got one quick message for everyone, because I am going to be releasing a shirt. I guess I'll stand up so you can see the back.
Go cop the Dream merch.
Yeah, so these are short sleeves. These were like a sample that I got for me and some of my friends. But on the back, it says, today's dreamers, tomorrow's achievers. Hey. We're going to get this in a long sleeve, and there's going to be a pre-order tomorrow, Monday the 9th, for a week and a half. We'll do a pre-order for a week and a half, and start shipping them out after that. So
you got my pre-order, bro.
Well, yeah, I gotta finish building the website. That's why that's coming out tomorrow. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Just remember, keep dreaming, follow your goals, take a step every day towards what you want to do. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.